Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to 31 Days of Cutfiles combined with Stitches and Stencils, which means I'm going to be stitching and stenciling on this layout. I'm starting out with some Spun Sugar Distress ink. This is just the regular distress ink, not the oxide. And I am just putting a little coating of it on this piece of white paper because this is what I'm going to back my cut file with. And I just realized I haven't even shown you what the cut file is for today. So you're going to see that in just a moment. It is a hanging banner with floral on it and a little chain to hold it on the opposing side. Oh my goodness. And I am a hot mess apparently. There it is. Okay. So there it is. And I am creating this pink to back the pink florals with. And then I do have some green paper that is left over from one of the 49 Market collections that I'm going to back the leaves with. They're just a couple of scraps that happen to be sitting on my desk. And so I'm going to back this cut file. I'm also not going to make you sit through all of that because by this point in time, we are now, I don't know, 23 days in, and you've probably seen me back a couple of cut files between now and the start of the month. So I'm not going to show you all of it, but you can see here that I'm backing it. There's the green paper that's just happened to be left over. I do keep all of my green scraps, even if they're really small. Green, like this type of a green, not a patterned green, just a mixed media style green, because they are perfect for backing leaves, especially in these types of cut files. So I'm going to back that. And then that turquoise piece is a leftover bit that was in my bin, and it's a piece of mixed media paper that I did using the Lindy's Magicals Tilt-A-Wheel teal color. And I'm going to back the center of my banner with that. But I am going to create a little banner test piece here because I want to stamp inside of it, but I wanted to make sure that I calculating the stamps correctly. I probably could have gone with one that was a little thinner, maybe the one that's off to the right, but I wouldn't be able to probably do some embossing on the ones on the right because they are so narrow, and I definitely wanted to do some embossing. So I'm not going to be using the black, but I'm just doing this for test purpose to make sure it fits inside the banner. So I started at the end of the word cream, and then I started at the beginning of the word ice to make sure it will all fit, and then whatever space was left over was going to be between the ice and the cream, which turned out to not be a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that all again with a little bit of Versamark of, I don't even know what this is called. It's been so long since I've used it. It is a Versamark watermark stamp pad. I knew that. And then I'm going to emboss on top of it. And I'm going to use some purple embossing powder, which is kind of funny because I don't really keep a lot of embossing powders, but I maybe have a handful of them besides black, clear, white, and gold. So I maybe have like 5 colors, and purple happens to be one of them, which is great because it's going to go great with the paper that I chose for today's layout, which I haven't even shown you. This is all paper from, I think it's maybe Main Character Energy. I don't know. It's one of the Chamel collections. I don't know. Maybe it's not Main Character Energy. I don't know what it's called. Off the top of my head, I do not remember. And I do not even have a branding strip to look at on my desk to see what it was. But I love the color of it. I love the plaid, and I'm going to go ahead and use it. I am also using this stencil that has a floral, which kind of reminds me of the floral in the cut file. So I went ahead and stenciled a little bit of that on with some paper glaze, and it's the velvet kind of paper glaze. So it's paper glaze velvet by Picket Fence Studio in white. And I don't know that they even sell this anymore because they have kind of pulled back on the things that they are offering and did a big closeout on a lot of stuff, and that's how I got it. So not sure that you could even get it anymore, but it's a flat white that kind of has like a velvety look to it. So you'll see it in the close-ups at the end. I wanted my paper to have a deep V in it that was offset. And so I'm following the lines of my plaid that I've got going here. And I just put those 2 white papers up there so I could get a really good visual as to the height of my 12 by 12 paper and how deep I wanted that V to go on my 12 by 12 paper, and to make sure I had room for everything. And I do have room, so I'm pretty happy with it where it's at. So I'm just marking it with my scissors so I can trim that top strip off, and then I can use the rest of it on my layout to go ahead and create my deep V that I've got going here. The photos are of MK, myself, my friend Lisa, and then that's the top photo. The other photos are my friend Maureen and Lynn, and then our other friends Janae and Laura, but I don't have permission from them to show you their photos on screen, so I just put a white paper over the top of that middle or that bottom left hand photo, so I don't, so I still have friends basically. So this is what my layout is going to look like. I really like the way that it's coming out so far. I do have some stitching to do. I did stitch around that white paper with some purple thread. So the 3 edges of the white paper have the purple thread on it. And then I did take it back over to my sewing machine and I stitched around the plaid. I didn't know if I was going to stitch the plaid or not at first, so I did the white first, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the plaid after I got it sewn on there. And so it was kind of an afterthought, but it all looks like one stitched framework basically. And once I get my photos aligned, I am going to do more stitching. I'm going to do some hand stitching with some pink embroidery floss. You can see it off to the left hand side there. And I am going to stitch just on one, well, not one, but this plaid has a little tiny pink line that goes diagonal in it. Well, they're all diagonal. Oh my goodness. But it's equally spaced throughout the paper. So you're going to see me poke holes in the paper here. It's probably going to be really hard to tell that it is a pink line that I'm stitching over because the pink is really light. It looks a lot like the white lines, but in person I can see it. I'm also using MK's square stitching template to get my lines, or my stitch widths. Is that a thing? Stitch widths? To get them even. So I get my little holes all aligned along that pink line in the paper, and so that my stitches are evenly spaced. And I don't make you sit through all of it. I'm going to just finish poking the holes here, and then I'm going to take it off camera and do the stitching. So you'll see that here in the close-ups at the end of the video. Hopefully you can see it now or when it's all done as well. On camera it's a little bit hard to see, but it kind of looks like a little bit of a dotted line. And then I went to, oh look, it is look, it is main character energy. Woohoo! I went over to the embellishments that I have from this collection, and I pulled out some of those. I'm just going to do some embellishing in the bottom right hand corner of the layout, because I think that's going to balance out the big floral that's up top. And I think it's super cute to keep it really simple. There's already, it doesn't feel like there's a lot going on because I've got such a big white space in the background, but between the stitching and the stenciling and the cut file, there is actually a lot going on in the background. So I'm kind of leaving it very simple with regard to the embellishments. I am going to pop this little butterfly's wings up onto some foam to give it a little added dimension, and I am going to glue it down in the body down. You're going to see me put my tweezers on that to hold it until it kind of sets up. And then I did add a little piece up at the underneath the cut file that says, I think it says here, so ice cream here. And then I'm adding a label down here at the bottom where I'm doing my journaling. And that is it, you guys. I'm going to have links down below for 31 days of cut files for you. You can see the stitching really well in this photo, and same with the stenciling. So I hope you enjoyed that, and hit the thumbs up button if you do. I also have links for MK's channel and Sandie's channel, because Stitches and Stencils is a series that the three of us have been doing for over a year now. So you can go and check that out, as well as a playlist that I have for all of my stitches and stencils. Thanks so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, leave those down below. I'll get back to you soon, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.